Dan, it's great to see you again. And I just got to ask, have we done a recent video on YouTube? Have we not done anything on YouTube recently?
What do you mean?
Do we need to do another video or another podcast on YouTube?
Well, we could, I guess. Sure.
Nah. Yeah, I am deep into a broken down car.
Uh-oh.
And it just dawned on me, I use YouTube. I mean, I use it for entertainment. I use it for education, but then I use it for how-to. I've
Yes.
become like this master technician just from watching other people on YouTube.
Yeah, well, that's why YouTube is one of the, I think it's the second largest search engine for people searching how to do things.
I got to believe that.
Yep.
And then even if you do search something in Google, it takes you back to YouTube.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. I know we had a discussion last week about YouTube. I was just joking here because we're looking at it from a content creator, but I'm also a consumer, as I know you are too. I don't watch a lot of Firewood videos. I'm going to be honest. I don't. But I watch history, World War II history, Civil War, astronomy. A lot of educational type of shows. I watch those too.
Yeah. I'm more on the entertainment side. I want to watch and just sit down and not have to think.
Well, that normally comes easy for me. I'm very skilled at that. But what I'm doing right now is how-to. So I got a car that's making a weird noise. And the way I see things, automobiles are mass-produced machines, and I think they all have the same problems. So if yours is making a funny noise, chances are there's 1,000 videos that you can find on YouTube of people that have had the exact same problem.
Yep. Somebody somewhere has had the same problem and has found a way to fix it. And
yes,
we'll show you.
Yes. And from my deep dive into my problem, mine's not that easy of a solution. It's quite involved. And I was just going to take it to the Ford dealer and have them do it. And then they gave me an estimate. It was like $1,200. And I was like, well,
pay it.
Yeah, maybe it's not looking so hard to do by myself after all. Yeah, boy, that's a lot of money. Yeah, so I'm going to be consulting with YouTube this weekend as I get ready to go into major surgery on this car. Got to get it working.
I don't know. I have found in the past that when I look something up to do on YouTube, it always looks way easier than it ends up being. And I end up getting in over my head and wishing I would have never even started. Because it makes, people make things look easy on there.
Yeah. Well, I saw the way that the people were doing this job. This is going to be a fuel pump. So I got to remove the gas tank. It would be asking too much for there to be a trap door in the floor of the car, underneath the rear seat. So I have to remove the gas tank. And I was like, oh my gosh. But then I was watching people do it, and it looks like Ford at least put in like extra long fuel lines and electrical connectors so that you can lower the fuel tank onto the ground and then just start disconnecting everything. It's got that going for it at least. Yeah. So the more videos I watched, the more confident I got. But that's not always been the case, because there has been other stuff that I've looked into and then decided to not do it.
Yep.
Yeah. The one that comes to mind was my garage door. My garage door, it's got that spring, and evidently the spring broke and the door just came down like a guillotine, man.
Yeah.
It was scary. Yeah. So I was going to redo the garage door myself. So I got on the YouTube, and there's so my garage door has that spring that goes, it's on a long tube.
Yep.
That runs on the header, like over top of the garage door. the entire width of the garage door. Mine was like it's called a Wayne Dalton something like that.
Hmm.
So I started looking into it and I typed in, Wayne Dalton replacement on my garage door. And it was like the very first video that came up. It was a video of a guy who was doing it and he knocked both of his two front teeth out. Doing it. And I was thinking, well, we're not off to a good start here. We are not off to a good start. And so I went on to like the next video. It was like the very next video. It was a video guy doing it, and he ripped his middle finger off of his hand.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I guess they're very dangerous. And it was enough for me to decide that I am going to not do this myself.
That was a good decision. Yes. do not attempt to do this. It may look
Yeah,
easy, but no.
it was eye-opening. It was. I mean, the guy, he had his teeth knocked out because you're dealing with that spring and it's like coiled up around that pole.
Yeah.
And I think he released tension or something and it spun his ratchet around and knocked his teeth out.
Oh my goodness.
And then the other guy doing it, he got his hand caught in there somehow and it ripped his finger off of his hand.
Oh.
His middle finger, nonetheless. How could he ever drive in traffic again?
Yeah, the one you use the most. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've been deep into YouTube, but there's been some kind of fun TV stuff going on. The Olympics
Oh,
has
yeah.
started. Have you been watching? I love the Olympics. I don't know how you are, but it's a big family celebration for us.
Yeah, I used to, as a kid, we used to always watch the Olympics, partially because that's only thing that was really on, every 2 years, the winter and then the summer. But yeah, I've definitely I used to enjoy it a lot more. Now it kind of seems to be kind of lost in the shuffle. Like I wasn't even really aware when the dang Olympics were starting. It's just there's so much going on, and I don't know.
I agree.
I've missed the hype of it all.
There's so many choices and so many options for everyone out there. So I think the specialness, is that a word, of the Olympics might be a little bit diminished. It's kind of like what the internet's done to high school reunions, because you would never see or hear from any of these people again for years and years and years until you have your high school reunion. And then you go and you all see each other and it's like a really fun time. And then you'll go on about your lives. But now with the internet and YouTube, it's like everyone hates everyone now because they're voting for a different person.
So everyone's flexing online on Facebook.
Yeah,
and everyone's business. So yeah, you don't need to get together.
Yeah, you don't need to go see everyone at a high school reunion anymore because you're connected online,
Right.
Yeah, but like the Olympics, I remember when the kids were little, my wife, she made a big deal out of it. She would make medals and we would have little contests around the house,
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was just fun. And I still love the Olympics. What I like about it the most is it's all these sports that, you don't think a lot about. And then these people, they've obviously prepared their whole life for this one event.
Yeah.
We were watching like these canoe races. I mean, they race canoes, through these gates, and these gates hang from the air and you got to go through the rapids. And then you got to like row upstream and go through the other one, the backwards. And yeah. I love seeing it. It's like in the Winter Olympics, like all these sleds and stuff that they're racing. I just like all this variety. And I don't know. It's another opportunity to be patriotic, to root for the home team.
The non-typical competitions, like I don't know the exact name of them, but the winter one has the one where you have to ski and then you have to shoot, target shooting and skiing, and then the Summer Olympics, there's all those different, I mean, I was, yeah, something like that. I mean, I grew up, in high school, we had track and field. So I was always kind of interested in the track and field sports, but there's a lot to see, a lot going on.
I love the Olympics. It's for 2 weeks. And like we watch baseball at the house here almost every night. And when the Olympics are on, that's pretty much all we watch. And then The challenge is because it's in France, so it's off by about 6 hours or 7 hours. So
Yeah.
when it comes on prime time at night, you can sneak and see who actually won.
Yep.
Yeah, but it got me thinking though, Dan.
Oh Lord.
Um, we need. Why isn't there an Olympics in the firewood industry? Firewood
Oh,
Olympics.
yeah. The Woodhound Olympics. That would be something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just,
talk
do you
about
think
some
we could? Do you think we could
crazy
get any?
events. Let's see.
Yeah, we could get anyone to enter them. I was thinking maybe at least with machines. It doesn't have to just be just human power, but there could be like speed splitting where
Oh, yes.
you got to have your splitter of a certain specifications, and then
Yep.
like have speed splitting or a processor or chainsawing. I know there's like timber sports, but there's got to be some way to make it different
Yeah. To
to
make
to
it
earn a gold and a silver and a bronze medal.
firewood related, like instead of just, speed splitting, you have like speed stacking, and then the judging the accuracy and the how plumb the stack is, or how high
Yeah,
you can stack, or how quick you can stack a face cord, and
there would be a row of judges,
yes,
and then when you lay down the last stick, you turn around real quick, and the judges will hold up their number
the
9.
scorecard. Yeah.
And
And
maybe
yeah,
you wouldn't get a gold medal though. You would get like a oak stick. And then if you come in second place, you get a maple, and if you come in third, you get a pine.
pine, there you
You have
go.
to you have to wear it around your neck.
That would be
Yeah.
fun though. There's all, I mean, you could have one where you like have to eyeball 16-inch cuts, like how accurate you can cut an 8-foot log in this, 16-inch rounds.
Yeah.
What else could you do? Everything for firewood.
I
I
think
like
there should be a wheelbarrow obstacle course. You get like just this obscene amount of splits of firewood, and you have to load it into your wheelbarrow without it spilling. And then you have to like push it through an obstacle course and like over top of like a fire hose, something that
Yep.
is hard to get over without knocking all the logs out of your wheelbarrow.
And then end up stacking it or something, dumping it
Yeah,
into
then
an
you got to
IBC
stack it.
tote. Yep. Yeah.
And then you have to yell at your kid for not holding the light straight. You're holding the light all wrong.
Yes. Oh, there would be another
Yeah.
one. How quick you can dismantle and convert an IBC tote from normal, with the bladder in and the braces, to stripping it
Uh-huh.
off, getting it cut out for firewood.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. With or without PPE.
Right. Well, see, that's where generally, like, most of the Olympic sports don't involve an element of severe injury or danger or death. Where you could, if you were running a chainsaw as fast as you could, who knows what would happen.
I don't know. Those ping pong injuries look
Oh,
severe. I'm just saying.
jeez, yeah,
Yeah.
they get things flying.
What about like the log toss, where you get, instead of cornhole, you have like sticks of firewood and like a target that you have to
Yeah.
throw. Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah, that's even could kind of mesh together with like the strongman competitions, like throwing a 4-foot section of log up over top of something.
Yeah.
Feats of strength. That's what we
And then
need.
there'd have to be teams and relays, like these swimming meets in the Olympics, they got the relays where they got
Oh
like
yeah.
4 swimmers, and we would need like the Woodhound Olympics with teams.
Yes.
Team Wisconsin
Right.
versus Team Ohio.
No contest. Men from the Northwoods have Paul Bunyan in their genetics. Just because you
Oh
have
yeah.
the Paul Bunyan show, we have actually the Paul Bunyan in our DNA up here in the Northwoods.
But I think Paul Bunyan's from Maine, though, isn't he?
No, he's from like
What
Minnesota,
he
isn't
is?
he? Wisconsin.
When
I think
I
he's from Wisconsin.
when I was in Maine a couple years ago, they have this enormous statue of Paul Bunyan in
Yes,
Bangor, Maine. So I just assumed that's where he was from.
they were copying the Midwest.
Yeah.
I don't. I actually don't even know. I just know that we have like because of the all the logging camps that were in the area here. You know, we have like a Paul Bunyan museum and a Paul Bunyan this, and then up in somewhere in northern Minnesota, there's like, well, and like Wisconsin and Minnesota battle in college football for the Paul Bunyan axe. It's like the trophy that gets passed back and forth. So I think it's got something to do with the origins
Yeah.
here.
Well,
Maybe not. I don't know.
yeah, so I went
Somebody else
ahead.
may tell us.
I just Googled Paul Bunyan real quick. So
Oh
according
God.
to Wikipedia, it must have been a protracted birth because he's alleged to have been born in Bemidji. How do you pronounce this in
Bemidji.
Minnesota?
But yeah,
Bemidji,
you go.
Minnesota.
Yep.
Hayward, Wisconsin. Ackley, Minnesota. Brainerd, Minnesota. Bangor, Maine. And here the Canadians have got into it. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Manistique, Michigan, and Oscoda, Michigan.
Wow. So there you,
And
yeah.
I thought I saw somewhere he might have been claimed to have been born in Alaska too. So
No mention of Ohio though, is there?
no, there's no mention. We have Johnny Appleseed, so we're good.
Well, I'll take Paul Bunyan up against Johnny Appleseed any day.
Well, I don't know. There's a reason why Johnny Appleseed wore a pot on his head.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, that was just an idea, though, Dan. I don't know. I thought, we could have the Woodhound Olympics, the Firewood Olympics. We need to have something like that. Maybe if we have the International Firewood Expo again, we should have like some kind of a Olympics.
Yeah.
Remember, they used to have a processor shootout at Paul Bunyan that they've kind of gotten away from.
Yeah, that's well. They like you had mentioned the timberjack competitions. Like they have a lot of these competitions, but I don't think anything is focused around the firewood aspect of it.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying.
but the thing is like that's one thing I found that sometimes speed and making firewood are not a good combination. Because and everyone's focused on that. Everyone's focused on how fast you can do stuff. But that's why I think you would need to have something that would like focus on accuracy or like the neatness of the stack and
or something artistic, like artistic stacking where you ever see these pictures where people like made some kind of artwork out of a stack of firewood. So it'd be like the figure skating part of it where it's all subjective. The judges are just judging the beauty of them skating.
Yes.
So we could have something like that with the Woodhounds Olympic at the Woodhounds Olympics.
The Woodhound Olympics. Yeah.
But I think I would want to be a judge because I could be bought off.
I think I'm sensing that you just don't want to compete because, us men from the Northwoods would show you up.
I just want to make it fair for everyone. That's all.
We could definitely have the event of bundling wraps versus bags. Who can do more in a minute?
Or just have all the wrappers lined up and see who can wrap the most.
Yeah. Well,
that's a good idea. Maybe I should do that at the International Firewood Expo because there's a number of other wrapping machines out there. I think that there could be a contest.
Yeah. And see, then you would have that element of the finished product, like has to be judged on appearance, on consistency, on, because you can just slap wood together and throw the wrapper on it in no time. But how does it look? How does it present? How does it hold its form? How does, when you throw it in the bed of the truck, does it all kind of fall apart?
Right.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different interesting components that
Uh-huh.
could go into it.
How about the first to fill up their fuel tank with an EPA gas can?
Oh yes, or yeah, the first to change the replace the chain on your chainsaw with a crumpled up chain from inside the box.
Untangling
Untangle
a
the
chain.
chain. Yes.
I see some of those guys and gals that do that speed chain changing.
Oh
Good
my
night.
gosh. Yeah.
You blink and they're done.
I don't know how they do it, but that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool to see.
I do know of one competition that there probably should not be allowed to have because, well, it would be the best firewood podcast competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would be taking home that oak medal.
Yeah, they would probably make it the Osage Orange medal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The bronzed oak medal.
Oh, so now oak
The,
is last? I thought oak was like the
yeah,
equal to
it'd be
gold.
a gold plated oak log.
As
Yeah.
long as
And
the
it,
metal would encapsulate the smell, so you could wear it around your neck and just always smell that nice, beautiful oak.
oh God. Yeah. Jeez. I did a video recently, complaining about oak again, and some people are very um protective of oak. They don't like for me to say that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like one of the most at least around here anyway, everyone that's some people that's the only thing that's firewood is only it has to be oak or it's not firewood.
Yeah.
You know.
I deliver to an elderly lady, and she's a real interesting person. And I would take her the wood. She still heats with wood. It's just sweet watching her how she gets around. And I would take, just my hardwood Bix. And I don't have a lot of oak. Well, I would never take her any. And she called me up one day and she's like, I don't want this maple. She says, I want oak or don't bring me anything. I want oak, she said.
Oh.
And so I did. I took her oak, and then she called me up and she's like, thank you. This is great looking oak. She says she named off all the species that was in there. She knows her species,
Ooh.
so I thought that was
Yeah.
kind of cool. Yeah. So I always retain some for her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a customer like that, they will keep an eye out and
Yeah.
well,
If
looking
there's
for
a
it.
Firewood Olympics for species identification, I'm putting her on my team.
Oh, there's another interesting category to have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
ID the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then during the medal ceremony, would there be like music
Mm.
and like a flag going up in the air of would it be your team that you're on for the state that you're from?
Yeah, we'd have to well we could have some international competitors.
Yeah, there could. Sure, we
Yeah.
could. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if we're in charge, we'll just make the rules the way we want.
Right. Yeah. Well, there you
Uh-huh.
go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it would be fun,
All right.
but very I think there's a lot would have to go into that. I don't know. We could definitely though I think come up with something for next year's International Firewood Expo that could maybe involve a few competitions.
And there could be men and women's medals. There could be professional and hobbyist class.
Oh, yes. We got to have the divisions. Professional division and the hobbyist.
Yeah. I thought we could I was going to play a joke on you and say that first there would be the professionals, and then there would be the sub-professionals, and then there would be the minor league professionals, and I would go on, and then the hobbyists.
Yep. Well,
yeah,
we would be represented well, I think.
You think? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think you would. Yeah, you do. All right. All right, Dan. So I just something fun. Just wanted to talk about. I'm into the Olympics, and I thought we need to have a Firewood Olympics.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be anxious to hear how this auto session goes with you and your car, because
Ugh.
I don't know if I've ever introduced you to my friend here, Murphy, but he has some laws.
Yeah.
Murphy's
Well,
law.
there's always that one bolt. So we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I also will point out too. So like the new style of all these fuel lines and all these high pressure lines, everyone calls them a quick disconnect line. And I always correct them. No, it is a quick connect line.
Yeah, connect
Yeah.
only.
Yeah. Disconnecting is a different story. Okay. So,
Well,
yeah, but
yeah,
they go back together quick.
I'm gonna be waiting for that update to see how that
Okay.
all goes.
Yeah, I'm going to be laying underneath this car. I got like 20 jack stands, and I'm even coming up with a mitigating thing for in case, you're dealing with a fuel tank and fumes and headaches. And then you can't use, like my DeWalt, my little gun thing, because, it's electric and could have some sparks
Spark.
inside with fumes and
Ooh,
yeah, car catching on fire inside of the garage. All that kind of stuff is on
not
my
good.
mind now. Would make for a good YouTube video,
I
though.
was gonna just say you better have the camera rolling.
Oh
Oh,
boy. Yeah. All right, Dan. Well, what do you say? Let's strike up the band and let's head on out, huh?
yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to another episode of the Woodhounds, the #1 firewood podcast in the world.
Yeah, I've heard that somewhere before. And if you are listening to us on one of your streaming services, please consider giving us a 5-star review. It totally helps us out in being found out there in podcast universe. All right, so I will want to tell everyone out there to stay
Safe.
and participate in the,
Woodhound Olympics.
and hopefully you can win a
Gold medal.
with an oak core and have
A great day.